英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
The U.S. Central Command announced additional attacks against Iran on July 8th, hitting about 90 military sites. This retaliated for merchant ship attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran responded by attacking U.S. bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. President Trump expects any conflict to be short, aiming for a safer situation.
Japan's Supreme Public Prosecutor's Office is investigating a former Tokyo special investigator. He's suspected of an improper relationship with a woman he interrogated. Allegedly, he called her to a publicly funded hotel used for questioning where she stayed. The office confirmed the investigation, promising a careful and strict response.
Japan's National Police Agency signed an agreement with Mercari, Line Yahoo, and Rakuten on July 9th. This partnership combats online fraud. The three e-commerce companies will share credit card fraud data and account details with the police. This helps prevent illegal activities like fake brand sales and ticket scalping across platforms.
Suzuki Motors has issued a recall for over 500,000 vehicles across 4 models, including the Spacia. The company reported the recall to the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism. A defect in some engine parts could, in the worst case, prevent the vehicles from driving.
Large and very powerful Typhoon number 9 is expected to approach Okinawa's Sakishima Islands between July 10th and 11th. Maintaining its strength, starting July 10th, the islands could experience violent winds capable of collapsing some houses. Residents are strongly urged to take immediate precautions.
OpenAI launched new ChatGPT voice AI models, GPT-Live-1 and GPT-Live-1 Mini, on July 8th. Available to all users, the main feature is simultaneous listening and speaking, enabling natural conversations and real-time translation. The AI can process complex questions in the background, making interactions more human-like.
Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare announced on July 9th that it will postpone new stricter regulations on heated tobacco products for now. This decision came during a national expert committee meeting discussing passive smoking measures. The ministry plans to reconsider the regulations in about 3 years.
On July 9th, many areas in eastern and western Japan experienced summer-like temperatures exceeding 30 degrees Celsius even in the morning. Heat stroke alerts have been issued nationwide. Residents are strongly advised to use air conditioning indoors and stay hydrated to prevent heat stroke.
Revised drone regulations effective July 14th will expand no-fly zones around designated facilities to 1 kilometer. The National Police Agency announced new temporary no-fly zones, outdoor venues where the emperor or prime minister attend events or facilities they stay at for over 3 hours. This balances drone use and safety.
次は社会のニュースです。
Japan's Ministry of Health will not strengthen regulations on heated tobacco products, citing insufficient scientific data on health impacts. This decision comes despite expert recommendations for stricter measures. However, bars and other facilities where smoking is permitted will now be required to register with public health centers, revising the current system.
148 Japanese criminal law scholars oppose a bill creating a flag desecration crime. They argue that punishing acts based on discomfort is dangerous and raises serious legal concerns. The bill, passed by the lower house, could lead to fines or imprisonment. Scholars fear it might suppress protests or be used against those opposing racial hatred.
Calbee is resuming full-color printing for the front of some product packages, including potato chips, due to improved raw material supplies. The new design with a colorful front and a black and white back has become a trending topic online. Many compare it to Binbo Chama, an anime character known for wearing a suit only on the front.
A cabaret club manager and 4 others in Ueno, Tokyo have been arrested. They are suspected of confining and assaulting a male customer in April, then extorting 200,000 yen. Police believe the group forced the customer to pay for drinks he didn't order. The club has reportedly received multiple similar complaints.
A 48-year-old prosecutor from Tokyo's Special Investigation Department is under scrutiny for an alleged inappropriate relationship with a female he investigated. The relationship reportedly began after the case concluded. He is also accused of using an official hotel room for private stays with her. The Ministry of Justice is investigating, considering severe disciplinary action.
Early on July 9th, a house fire in Yahaba, Iwate Prefecture, completely destroyed a 2-story wooden home. 2 unidentified bodies were found in the rubble. The 69-year-old resident, Katsuchika Sasaki, and his mother are currently unreachable. Police are investigating the identities of the deceased and the cause of the fire.
A human accident occurred at Tokyo Station around 11 a.m. on July 9th. This incident caused a temporary suspension of JR Chuo line services. Trains were stopped between Tokyo and Takao stations. Fortunately, all services fully resumed at 12:03 p.m.
Powerful Typhoon number 9 is expected to directly hit Ishigaki Island and other Sakishima Islands in Okinawa on the morning of July 11th. It maintains its strength, with maximum instantaneous wind speeds possibly reaching 70 meters per second. These winds, equivalent to a bullet train speed, can cause severe damage. Residents should make early preparations.
Suzuki has issued a recall for over 500,000 vehicles across 4 models, including Spacia. The recall was submitted to the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism. A defect in an engine part could, in the worst case, prevent these vehicles from operating.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
The Imperial House Law Amendment Bill is expected to pass the lower house on July 10th. Ruling and opposition parties agreed to a 3-hour debate on July 9th. The Democratic Party for the People also decided to approve the bill, ensuring its passage in the lower house. The upper house will set up a special committee for the bill.
Zenshin, a payment processing company, has filed for bankruptcy. Investigations suggest the company engaged in fraudulent accounting for at least 20 years. This involved inflating deposits and creating fictitious receivables. Although the books showed positive net assets, correcting these frauds reveals an actual debt exceeding 60.5 billion yen.
Calbee announced on July 9th that it will gradually resume color printing for 8 products, including potato chips, starting the week of July 27th. This follows improved availability of inks and solvents. 6 items, like potato chips usushio, will have only their front packaging colorized. 2 Frugra cereal products will return to full color.
Japan's long-term interest rate, the benchmark 10-year government bond yield, temporarily hit 2.9% on July 9th. This marks a 30-year high, last seen in September 1996. The increase is due to escalating tensions in Iran, fueling inflation concerns and prompting a sell-off in bonds. President Trump stated the ceasefire is over for me.
Deliberation on the flag desecration bill has begun in the upper house. A key challenge is the difficulty in clearly defining the scope of punishable actions. Concerns persist regarding how to precisely identify what constitutes flag desecration under the proposed law, making its implementation complex.
A new study estimates the economic loss from transportation deserts, areas with poor public transport access, at approximately 10 trillion yen annually. This is the first such calculation, announced on July 9th by a private research company. The Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism cooperated with the analysis.
Deliberation on the subcapital bill is set to resume on July 10th. However, its passage within the current parliamentary session remains uncertain. Ruling and opposition parties agreed on July 9th to restart discussions, but the future of the bill's enactment is still unclear.
4 children of KDDI co-founder Sachio Senmoto underreported gifts totaling about 750 million yen. Tax authorities found the valuation of real estate held by corporations whose shares were gifted significantly inappropriate. The properties were re-evaluated, leading to an additional tax of approximately 178 million yen. Their appeals were rejected.
A personal information protection law amendment, allowing businesses to share sensitive personal data without consent for AI development, passed the Upper House Special Committee on July 8th. It is expected to become law soon. While aiming to boost AI and medical progress, concerns were raised about sharing care-related data and potential misuse.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Hajime Moriyasu is expected to continue as Japan's national soccer team coach. The Japan Football Association informally offered him the role and he accepted. It will be a short-term contract, likely until next March, after the Asia Cup. A new coach is planned for later. Moriyasu led Japan to the 2022 World Cup knockout stage and advanced undefeated this tournament.
Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Roki Sasaki started against the Rockies. He pitched 6 innings, giving up 3 runs but received no decision. Shohei Ohtani, who achieved his 300th career home run yesterday, went hitless in the game. This marked Ohtani's first game without a hit in 4 matches.
Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs hit his 14th 3-run home run against the Orioles. This powerful hit contributed to the Cubs' 3rd consecutive victory. Playing as the cleanup hitter, Suzuki's performance helped his team continue their winning streak. The game took place in Baltimore on the 8th.
Kazuma Okamoto of the Toronto Blue Jays hit his 21st home run this season against the Giants. This was his first career Grand Slam in Major League Baseball. He is now just 1 home run away from Shohei Ohtani's record for the most home runs by a Japanese player in their rookie season.
The FIFA World Cup in North America continues. A quarterfinal match between France and Morocco will take place on July 9th. For audiences in Japan, this will be on July 10th. Both teams will compete for a spot in the semifinals of the tournament.
The Egyptian Football Association has demanded FIFA investigate and expel the referee team from the World Cup. This follows their round of 16 loss to Argentina. Egypt claims serious refereeing errors and double standards, pointing to a disallowed goal and a suspected foul before Argentina's winning goal. Coach Hassan also accused FIFA of bias.
Major League pitcher Justin Verlander, 43, has announced his retirement from professional baseball. The 3-time Cy Young Award winner stated he will retire after the current season. Verlander had a successful career. pitching for teams like the Detroit Tigers and Houston Astros after debuting in 2005.
Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani hit his 300th career Major League home run against the Rockies. He achieved this milestone in his 9th season and 102 games, making him the 5th fastest player in history. This prolific pace is fueling high expectations. If Ohtani stays healthy, he could potentially reach 500 home runs.
Yokohama High School, aiming for its 4th consecutive Koshien appearance, won their game. However, ace pitcher Shoki Oda was hit in the left ankle by a line drive. He was taken to the hospital. Fortunately, the diagnosis confirmed no cracks or fractures, bringing great relief to the team and their Koshien hopes.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
The U.S. military completed additional attacks on Iran on July 8th, hitting about 90 military sites. This was in response to earlier attacks on merchant ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran retaliated by striking U.S. bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. President Trump said he does not expect a full-scale war, believing any conflict would be brief.
President Trump denied on July 8th that a full-scale war with Iran would restart, saying U.S. attacks would end quickly and make things safer. He also claimed he is the #1 target on Iran's assassination list, emphasizing his belief that he is a direct target.
Following U.S. Central Command's announcement of additional attacks on Iran on July 8th, Iranian media issued a strong warning on July 9th. Iran threatened large-scale attacks against U.S. military bases across the Middle East. Tensions are now significantly rising between the two nations.
South Korea's Supreme Court on July 9th upheld a 7-year prison sentence for former President Yoon Suk-yeol. He was convicted of obstructing investigations tied to an emergency martial law declaration. This ruling marks the first time Yoon has received a final guilty verdict in his trials.
The Russian military invasion of Ukraine continues, with fierce fighting reported across various regions. Russian and Ukrainian forces remain engaged in battles, forcing many civilians to evacuate and flee the country. The ongoing conflict continues to create a deepening humanitarian crisis.
The NATO summit on July 8th revealed divisions between the U.S. and Europe over defense spending. President Trump expressed disappointment with NATO, demanding European nations raise defense budgets to 5% of GDP. He called the U.S. the largest contributor, with NATO's Secretary General acknowledging disagreements.
2 weeks after a major earthquake in Venezuela, the death toll has surpassed 3,800. Thousands were injured, and around 30,000 people remain missing. The UN calls for expanded international support, needing an additional $296 million for humanitarian and reconstruction efforts.
Russia announced a ban on diesel fuel exports on July 8th, following its gasoline export ban in April. Acknowledging severe fuel supply issues and public concern, Russia will begin importing gasoline from July. These shortages are linked to recent Ukrainian attacks on Russian oil refineries.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Nintendo announced on July 8th that its smartphone game, Mario Kart Tour, will end service on September 30th. Sales of in-game currency have stopped, and refunds will be offered for unused currency. Launched in September 2019, it was the first Mario Kart title for smartphones, co-developed with Dina, achieving over 120 million downloads quickly.
FIFA announced on July 8th that Justin Bieber will perform at the World Cup North America Finals halftime show on the 19th. This historic show will also feature Madonna, Shakira, and BTS. Chris Martin of Coldplay will direct the performance. Bieber expressed his honor to participate, noting how the World Cup unites the world.
Fuji TV apologized to two actors on July 7th, confirming a male actor harassed a female co-star during a drama. An external lawyer confirmed these actions. Fuji TV mediated discussions but could not repair their relationship. The network detailed the situation to prevent further harm, following earlier media reports.
The Itami Juzo Memorial Museum announced on July 8th that translator Sachiko Kishimoto won the 18th Itami Juzo Award and 1 million yen. The award recognizes her unique translations and essays, which flip the real world inside out. Kishimoto is highly regarded for her work in foreign literature and essay writing.
Akiko Hayashi, the renowned picture book author known for My First Errand, passed away from pneumonia on July 1st at age 81. Born in Tokyo, she debuted in 1973. Her collaborative work My First Errand, released in 1976, became widely cherished and loved by readers for many years.
Mami Yamase, a 56-year-old TV personality, revealed on July 9th that she suffered a stroke last year as a complication of endometrial cancer. She underwent a full hysterectomy, after which many blood clots formed in her brain. Doctors told her a part of her brain function is irreversible, requiring rehabilitation to compensate.
Singer-songwriter Tomonori Takano passed away suddenly on July 5th. His official account announced the news. The funeral will be private for close relatives. Takano from Niigata was diagnosed in 2019 with spinocerebellar degeneration, an intractable neurological disease. Information regarding concert refunds will be announced later.
Actor Jiro Sato's recent social media posts and his rebuttal published in Shuken Shincho are reportedly creating a negative public impression. There are growing concerns that these actions could be viewed as self-destructive, potentially damaging his public image further.
The Women Writers Committee of the Japan Pen Club strongly opposes the proposed Imperial House Law Amendment, calling it gender discrimination. They argue the government's plan, by insisting on male line succession, would institutionalize gender inequality. The committee demands reconsideration based on principles of gender equality.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。